Hi guys, and welcome to my tutorial on replacing a fuel pump for a BMW E36. In particular, I'm doing this on a 1994 325i. Now this is quite a simple job. You don't really need any specialist tools for this. So for instance, I've got a crosshead screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, a larger flathead, and a hammer. I also have a box to put the old fuel pump in when I pull it out, and also a cup just to collect any fuel that might fall out the lines or anything like that, because obviously you don't want loads of fuel in your car. Obviously fuel can be quite dangerous stuff, so as you can see I've got gloves, and it's also good to wear some safety glasses just in case anything splashes in your eye, because that does hurt. Now when working with electrics on cars, and especially with fuel, it's always good just to disconnect the battery so you don't get any sparks coming off. Obviously you just do that with a 13mm spanner and then just put it off like that. And also with the fuel tank, it is a good idea just to relieve any pressure that might be in there just by taking the cap out and just sort of leaving it there. Okay guys, so on the driver's side of the car, underneath the rear seats is where you're going to find your fuel pump. My car's stripped out in the back, so I don't actually have the rear bench in here, but it's quite simple. Basically just pull it up and it should pop off. Now, so the fuel pump is under here, so this is where we need our crosshead screwdriver. Basically just need to undo these 4 screws. Now that we've got those undone, just need to pull this out and then just pull it along the wire so it's out of the way. Now here you can see we have our fuel pump. First of all, we want to disengage these 2 plugs. Don't worry about which way they go back in when you come to put it back together, because they are actually shaped differently, so they're quite simple to put back in. Now we've got the 2 pipes here. We're going to need to undo these. Okay, so this is now probably where you might want a cup just to catch any fuel, because sometimes there can be stuff in these fuel lines here. Now, one, and we'll just tuck it out of the way. Yeah, there's only a little in there. I'll just empty that into the cup anyway. Now that we've got everything undone, it's time to undo this ring. Basically, it's just held in with this lock ring here, this big plastic one, and this is just where you want the big flathead screwdriver and a hammer just to knock it undone like this. Cool, and then basically we just need to pull this pump out. Do be careful, underneath there is a black seal, so you want to make sure when you pull that out that doesn't then fall into your tank, so that's going to be quite annoying to then get out, especially if you've got a lot of fuel in there. Basically it does just pull out like this, and you just have to be a bit careful when pulling it out, because there are the mechanisms in there. And then this is what you want your box for, or a tray. Just put it in straight in there, and you ain't got to worry. Okay guys, so I thought I'd compare the 2 pumps, the old one and the new one. Little bit confused just because on this one it's made so like literally you can't actually fit the pipe over it, and there's a big gap running down here. Whereas on this one it is just a nice tube that will slot onto. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the internals out of this one and put them into this one. Just because I'm not too happy with how that is. So I'll do that quickly and I'll show you how it's done. It's quite simple and easy. So first what we need to do is just get the old one and then get this Jubilee clip here undone. Cool, so once we've got the Jubilee clip on this hose pipe undone, next thing we're going to need to do is just undo these spade connectors here. Just pull those straight out. That's that done. And then next thing we need to do is grab ourselves a flathead screwdriver. Because what we want to do is just undo these bits, these rubber mounts, and we just do that by leaving. So we're just going to lever them out like that. Cool, and then that should be loose. Just slide out. Then we can actually pull the actual pump like that. Cool, that's that apart, separated. And then what we just need to do is just do the same on this one, and then reattach it into that. Okay guys, so as you can see, I've got the old housing for the pump and the new pump all back together. So now it's time to put it back into the tank. First of all, remember, you want to put this black seal that came out with it back on. Now, this part here where the lip comes out, that is the top. So that's going to end up sitting flush up there like that. Okay guys, so now that you've got that in, next piece is to put this the plastic ring back on. Now remember, it's not actually done up too tight because it is all made of plastic, and if you start sort of banging it up tight, you might end up cracking it. So basically I just do it up to hand tight, so I can't do it no more. And then just get the old hammer and flathead again and just bang it around, just till it sort of comes to a stop, really, and that you don't have to hit it too hard. Okay, so the next one, I just connect the pipes back up. Obviously fairly straightforward to how we did them, how they came off, just in reverse. So next is putting the plugs back in. Remember, as I said earlier, they're different shapes, so this black one's got a flat side, the white one's curved, so they're pretty easy just to put back in and know where they go. And then we're going to put the cover back on. Pull the cables through, and then just line it up back where the screw holes were, and then just do the screws up. So now that everything's back together, we're going to do the fuel cap back up and then connect the battery, and then we're going to turn the car on. Hopefully it will start and the fuel pump will work. So that was my tutorial on how to replace a fuel pump. I hope it helped you guys. If you do have any further questions, whether about what I've just done or any other questions about sort of the E36s, do please leave a comment below, or do just message me on Instagram. I'll leave a link to that in the description. Thanks for watching, guys.